everybody. It is Wednesday. Damn, it's already Wednesday again. This is great. I'm telling you what, we got snow. It's cold where I am, and winter is finally happening again in St. Louis. Making me happy. Hey, we got Spade Morris from the Midnight Devils. So let's get ready.
Can you dig it?
What's going on, folks? Sam's getting things posted on his end. He's right here with me, but I'm not seeing him on this camera yet. I'm gonna put him on the screen and see what happens. There we go. Look at that.
Your wish is my command, Stu. Say my name and I appear.
And it's reciprocated, my friend. I'll tell you what. If any time comes, you got something you want to talk about, you just give me a call. We'll get you on.
It sounds great.
So it doesn't matter when it is. If you're on the road, if you're doing whatever, if I'm on the road with you,
I appreciate that. And some of the coolest interviews we have ever done have been with you in the most unique places all around the world.
Right? That was a big thrill. Going international when I'm talking to you when you're in the UK. That was really cool.
It was cool. And it really, what it did is it captured that excitement right there in that time and place, and that you can't reproduce that stuff.
No. It's great to have it out there forever,
Mm-hmm.
It's great to catch. That's the moments I dig, even if it's 5 minutes.
Yep.
It's like, it's so cool just to pop in and get a little slice of that. And
you make it easy. You make it easy on us, and I appreciate that.
I'm easy. I'm cheap. I'm actually cheap and easy. Even my wife would agree. So I won't get in trouble there. So anyway, we haven't done a lightning round in a while. I haven't had an interview proper in a while. So, because I've been doing all this really cool stuff with our kitchen, and it's been taking up a lot of my time. But
it's like you're getting right back up on the bicycle again.
You got that right.
And don't worry, Stu, you're in very capable hands. We've been watching every episode of Home Improvement now. So Binford Tools is proud to present this lightning edition with Stu, Viking Stew, the tool man.
I even have my hammer.
That's right.
I should have used. If I'd have used this earlier, I'd have been done with this whole damn thing sooner. I don't know.
The Binford Lightning Hammer 3000, folks. This thing crushes, it smashes, it does whatever you need it to do.
When you need electric and power, it's right here. We were just talking about how ridiculous that was in that. Did you see Love and Blunder, that Thor movie? The fourth one?
No, I might have lost. If it was a romantic comedy, I think I was out on that.
Good man. Good man. Do yourself a favor. Never.
Yeah. And I like Thor. I think Thor is awesome. I love the Avengers. It's all cool to me. But I was like, you know what? I'm all right.
Yeah, it was ridiculously bad. But right in the end, he empowers all these children who have been taken, and he empowers them all with the powers of Thor. I'm like, how adorable. Yet at the same time, don't you think that would have been smart to use in Wakanda with all your buddies?
If you would have done that a little earlier, Thor.
It's like, oh shit, I didn't read page 56 of the damn manual of Asgard. Shit. Thunder God. 55 pages. That's enough. I'm gonna stop. Damn. So let's do a quick lightning round. Part of this pertains to something I'm getting ready to do on the show, and then it also will include a question that I will ask you about future stuff.
Okay. Perfect.
Do you like to cook? You cook on stage every time you're on it.
We're grilling out all the time.
And you like to cook though at home too?
No, I don't. I don't do much of the cooking at all.
No, I don't.
On stage, we're grilling out every single night.
Oh, really?
No, that's a play.
I know. I get it. I get it.
No,
you should.
Weirdly enough, I don't do the cooking. Carrie does most of the cooking, and when we're on the road, weirdly enough, Jimmy is like a gourmet chef. So
Shut up.
strange things that I've learned about this space aliens, rock and roll space aliens. He's a great cook. So it's kind of a cool thing.
What's he like to make?
What's that?
What is something that he likes to make? Do you know?
He loves spaghetti. That's like his favorite thing. He's like, I just want a big bowl of spaghetti. I'll just make a big pot of spaghetti for everybody.
Well, then maybe when I hit the road with you guys, I'll bring some grilling gear and we can do burgers for the crowd.
Then we really be grilling out every night.
Damn straight.
All the hot dogs you can eat at the Midnight Devil Show. That's a selling point right there, Stu. That's a done deal.
I can make a Viking sandwich and they can just, there you go.
The amount of weed that's smoked, everybody's got the munchies anyways.
You got that right. And who the hell is open anymore?
That's right.
We get done with gigs and it's hell. We're like, where am I going to eat?
Yep.
I've just spent 4 hours on stage, 6 hours if you count, well, 6 to 7 hours if you count setup. You're like, I'm hungry. And
if you're not in Waffle House country, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah. So, wow, Jimmy's a big cook. That's great, man. I'll have to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
That also leads me to say, because I'm going to start doing cooking on the show as well. We're going to be adding that real soon.
Very cool.
Real soon. I was just talking to my friend Katie Cruz, who's a radio personality here in St. Louis for years. Used to be on KC95, and she used to do Katie's 80s, and she is going to be back on the show. And I just talked to her today about baking. So we're going to do that when she comes back. So
it's exciting stuff.
I know. So that leads me to ask you this other question. In tandem with that, are you guys looking? I know it says that you guys are getting more gigs lined up for the new tour, the new album tour. So you just finished up an East Coast thing. We'll get into that in a minute. But do you guys think you'll come back through St. Louis?
Yeah, we talked about it already with at least Mike at the Hotspot.
Yes.
It was such a great time when we were there 2 weeks ago. Like it's just like going home, and it's really cool. And Mike's just great, and he loves this kind of music just as much as we do. And it's really cool when you can find people that are completely into this as much as we are. So it was great. He treated everybody awesome. So it's like, why wouldn't we come back? It's such a great spot. And St. Louis is always known for, it's the rock and roll city. It's kind of that gateway to wherever you're going to go.
That's right. That's right.
So
it's a
cool.
hot spot.
It was cool being back. Yeah. I loved it.
Literally and figuratively. Gee. Wow. I think I need a pipe. We're getting so intellectual. To get something like that. Maybe a Thor pipe. I wonder if there's a hammer pipe.
That's all right.
It's gotta be.
The problem we run into is that it's time. You kind of run out of time in the year.
Yeah.
To everywhere we want to go, and there's all these places, and it's exciting and it's cool, and then you're like, next thing you know, like we're running out of time.
Yeah. I'm just so sorry I missed out on you guys being here a couple of weeks ago. I feel that's how I feel. That's how out of it I feel after working on all this house stuff. But
you missed it. It was really good, and our opening acts, our support group for the whole entire tour, their name was Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Young guys out of Atlanta, just absolutely killed. And I was nervous that they would run people away with their brand of heavy metal, but people loved it. And they're like, I really think that people watch they watch the band with their eyes, and then you can see the heart and soul and the realness, and that's what translates really. And they had it going on, so it was good.
Yeah, you are not kidding right there, man. That's something I've always tried to tell bandmates over the years, where, now and again, you'll run into somebody as you're putting together, let's say, cover bands. That's what I've always done, except for Rockman that I did when I played at Rockin' Skull.
Yeah.
That was original, except for the Queen tune that we did, but everything else was written by the band. So, but whenever I do cover songs, you look at somebody and they go, well, I don't know that song. You're like, okay. And they're like, oh, I don't want to learn a bunch of stuff people don't know. I said, look, they may not know it right now, or there's going to be some fringe people in the audience that know it, but it's something that's just as fun as everything else.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you get up there and just what you said, if you sell it,
yep,
they will buy it. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
I mean, don't waste their time standing there looking like nobody knows this song. If you get up there and you burn the shit out of a song that I've chosen because it's a party tune, they will love it.
Yep.
And they'll thank you for it later for playing something they don't know but that they loved.
We're like that is my ultimate goal all the time, because we've really pushed towards doing like all songs off our new record, and that's a tough thing, a tough sell. People get used to songs from the other records, but you play these songs with the same conviction and the same excitement, but it's real because, man, like as the artist, as the creator, the guys that sat there and built these songs, now we get to play them live, so it's a whole nother level of excitement, and that really translates to an audience where they go, I've never heard the song, and you play it and they go, they're singing the words by the end. That's always that, like a win. That's a win in our category. Got it.
Yes. It's that way even when you introduce somebody to one of your favorite bands. I remember my son, we went and visited there, and I was playing some City Boy in the car. By the end of this, and I barely knew this album by City Boy, but because I was deep diving into it and getting into them, because I got into them because of one record. And then, but before one of the songs was over, he was singing it.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not going to say a word about it because this is just magic. This is awesome. So it is fun. It's awesome. Speaking of food, what's the band's favorite road food? What's your favorite? And then your other two members, Jimmy.
Are we talking about the gas station food or sitting down to eat?
Which gas station food? I mean, do you ever have anybody make you something and you take that on the road?
Not really. We've had people give us like we were over in Italy and we were like doing like a sound check and we were just starving. Everybody was like, "Rrr." And what the opening act had brought a whole bunch of focaccia bread, and I never had it before. But it was homemade focaccia bread, and they just started handing it out like pieces to everybody. And then the venue at the end of the night like cooked this big spaghetti feast for all the bands. And I was like, okay, this is a really cool thing that we got going on, and it kind of brought everybody together. And what a focaccia is unbelievable, especially homemade in Italy. Come on, get out of here.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot better than them just, putting a couple of meatballs in each hand, right?
Right. Exactly. My go-to, and this is super lame, like maybe the lamest thing ever to say, my go-to, and Carrie started this, but is right before the tour starts, you pack about 5 or 6 Cliff Bars into your backpack. Forget about them, right? Because there's going to be some night when there's nothing else open, and you're like, I'm going to die if I don't have food, and there's nothing. And you go, oh, I have these Cliff Bars. Oh, perfect. It saved my life on many, many occasions.
Wise woman. That is a wise woman. Yeah, it is amazing. And those are great for no matter what. I mean, you can have it and go, that's breakfast. You can have it, something to save me at 2 a.m.
Yep.
When there's just enough time to make one more last mistake. What's your snacky something then? Yeah, let's jump to that too. What's your snacky thing that you like on the road outside of the Cliff Bar?
It always goes to my favorite thing to eat is pizza. So I always end up at pizza. I try and drink a ton of water. I love water, like sparkling water and stuff like that.
Me too, yeah.
I think it's great, and like getting off soda, getting off beer, getting all those kind of the impurities that we kind of become necessity in life, but trying to stay away from all that. I'm still like caffeine's like a huge one. I absolutely adore coffee, and we go through gallons and gallons of coffee. But that's like what keeps the whole thing running.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to do on the show too, is I like to do the sparkling water with, now I'd rather get the lemons and squeeze them. I've done that, and I put it in a mason jar and then but I'll pour in a good cup of lemon juice straight in the bottom. And then I use one of those, the flavor stuff that's no sugar, you shoot like 3 little shoots of that in there. And then you put the sparkling water can in there. And for me, I love tart.
Yeah.
So it's the best soda ever without being a soda.
Yep.
Love it. So I'll mix you up one of those one of
I
these
would
days.
love that. Yeah, sounds
What
perfect.
about Jimmy? What's Jimmy love to snack on in the
Jimmy loves anything, and his normal thing is like the most annoying thing if you could ever get. So he's like boiled peanuts or salt and vinegar pork rinds, or like just the smelliest stuff you could possibly like, just Vienna sausages. And I'm like, oh my god! And he's like, I'm hungry, bro, and I'll just pound through like just a massive amount of garbage.
And then you just look at him and go, where the hell do you put it?
Yeah, he's like, are we gonna stop and eat at the In-N-Out or what? You know, like.
That's classic. What about Sniper? What's he dig?
Then Sniper changes all the time. And I'll tell you, this is the one good story from the tour about food, is that we were down in New Orleans, right? So we hung out in New Orleans for 3 days, had a show there. And we ate a po' boy. That was great. Unbelievable, right? It was like authentic po' boy. Awesome. And then at the end of the show, we're all dying, all starving. And there's this guy outside of the venue with a smoker hooked up to his truck and a trailer. And Sniper got a 1 pound ghetto burger made on the guy's truck. That was maybe one of the greatest things I've ever seen or tasted. And it was like nothing else because it was very authentic New Orleans barbecue.
Yeah. Oh.
So he told everybody after that, every person he came in contact with, he told him about this ghetto burger. It was the destroyer of souls.
I smell a new tune for the next record. The soul-stealing burger.
New Orleans street meats. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Hey, just real quick, like when you guys were at Rock and Skull in 2017, correct?
Yes.
Who was your drummer at the time?
It was Jimmy.
Yep. And he also did Pretty Boy Floyd, right?
I don't know if Floyd played that. Maybe
who was he in at that time?
He might have been in Floyd, but I don't know if Floyd played that year. They did. I don't think they played the year that we played.
Okay.
And it might have been 2018.
Yes. In 18, Jimmy was with you guys.
Yeah. So in 17, he might have been playing for Floyd, and Floyd was there.
And you weren't at that one.
Correct.
Okay. I was thinking that the lineups were pretty much the same. There were so many different bands there. It was great that there were so many bands. But I was thinking, so that's when you and I met. We met in 18.
Yes.
At that one when Rockman played, my band played.
Yes.
So yeah, that was great. Ended up being great. It was a total switch. 17 and 18 is when things kind of went a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it downgraded because there were great bands there.
It was fun. It was the start. I always remember it as the start of the madness. And that was at the time was our biggest goal, was to get on Rock and Skull. And we did it, and we played twice that year, and it worked so well. And that's like really when things started spiraling for the better. You know, right. we all started going up right after Rock and Skull.
Yeah. I just love that Jimmy was in the band. I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I sat and talked with Jimmy the year prior when he was with those guys. So it was great. I was just like, man, this is cool. This is really cool.
Very cool.
Then let's see. What's an album or a couple of albums maybe that you put on when you just want to go somewhere and you want to sing to an album?
Oh man, what a great question. And I go through phases, much like everybody else. There's a lot of phases, and it depends on what time of day, what mood. If I've worked that night, or if we played, you always kind of want to listen to something that's more mellow and heartfelt.
Right.
So for me, and I can say this, this is quite an oxymoron, but I love Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And so sometimes like at the end of the night, Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, I'll always go to that album. For some reason, it always, and probably because the connotations reminds me of home if I'm far away. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen is always a good one that you can kind of, he hits you with the emotions, and that's great. Another one's Tom Petty. That's a really good one when that's like in the morning when we wake up and you have to get in the van and everybody's still really groggy. You put on Tom Petty to keep the mood kind of light, right? Yeah. Or the other moving one forward. I've been loving Rancid. Rancid's always a really good go-to for me, where it's that dynamic between the punk rock side and the glam rock side that I love.
Yes. Yeah, there's a
So like
lot of that.
Out Come the Wolves and all
Yeah.
the Fall Back Down, all those albums are just fantastic.
I'm gonna have to check that stuff out because I don't. That's a deep dive I haven't been into. I
Mhm.
know of the band, but I've never really gotten into it.
And it's
So
a certain time and place where that takes me back to 20 years ago when I was just starting out and really getting into music. And Rancid was kind of that soundtrack, and just discovering that band, even though it was kind of later on in their career, is still such a big influence
mhm.
on where we were going or where I was going. And it spoke to me. It's like these guys are talking exactly about the stuff that I'm going through right now.
Oh man, that's great.
And still to this day, still to this day.
That's awesome because there's days where I don't know. I can I hate to put it so heavily,
Hmm.
I don't want to be I don't want to be too heavy about it, but there's days being a music head,
Yeah.
and all the bands that I do know about and listen to on a regular basis, there's still bands like Rancid and others that I just feel a little ashamed when I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've never really listened to that." And I'm like,
Hmm.
You don't I don't need to do that. I know enough bands."
Right.
But still there's a moment where you're like, "Huh, yeah, I should have been into that a little. At least know
Like
what it is so that I
it's
can
like
comment
the
on it."
other day I was sitting practicing. I'm like, cool, we'll just learn a Rancid song real fast, just on the bass for my own personal
Yes.
self, just to do it. And I sat down here in the basement and I learned the song, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Now I'm gonna have to play this. Like we're gonna have to jam this at sound check just for our own personal. This will be really fun.
Yeah, thank God for sound checks, right? Because
Yeah.
I just heard a track the other day. I'm like, that'd be a good sound check track,
Yep.
because we always have to just soundtrack in front of the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
As we get more sound checks, and that's really where we practice and iron out a lot of the kinks. And it's like Sniper's very, very good and very diligent as our musical director. And so
mhm,
he kind of like lays it out, and he has an expectation that I don't want to fall short of. So
right.
I try and always be prepared. And he goes, know these songs, and we'll run songs at sound check. And that's how we get new songs into our set list. You just are kind of expected to know these songs, and which
Yes.
I love it. It's a very different way. We don't really rehearse, and that kind of leans us to rehearsing a lot at sound check.
Yeah. Yeah. Because let's face it. A couple of things. First of all, it should have always been like this,
Hmm.
but especially these days with all the different things that we can do and the things like if you and I and all the other musicians who are doing it the way you're doing it, if we all become that industry of music, like I was talking about with you a long time ago, instead of worrying about the music industry, we become that industry of music. The
Yes,
different things that we have to do, it's true. You have to do your homework in a band
yes,
and
yes,
then come together and know the stuff. And
yeah,
there's going to be a couple of questions. You could, you know,
yeah.
how does that time out? Or,
Yep.
you know, oh, you're not playing that exactly right. Oh, okay. What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks. Good.
And
And
then we kind of
always
get like we'll
be
get it
open.
close enough in sound check. Over we'll rehearse the song 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nights in a
Hmm.
row. Get
Hmm.
close enough at sound check to where we're like, okay, now let's play it live and kind of use that
Hmm.
energy and adrenaline and that like you're on the spot right now
Yeah.
to kind of feel what the song's gonna be like. So when we do that, we're always feeling it out just like the crowd's feeling it out. And
Yes.
for me, that is the most important part and one of the coolest parts of our job is putting new songs into the set list. I love it. It is
Yeah.
great. It makes me feel accomplished.
Yes. And it makes you feel, when you do it that way, it makes you feel aware.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
And
you're right. There's that, let's take the pressure off a little bit during a time when there is no pressure.
right.
And nobody, isn't that weird? It can be right before your gig,
Hmm.
but there's no pressure.
No.
And people are more open. They're like, oh, they're just sound checking.
Yep.
So they're not supposed to be grabbing me right now. But you grab them with a sound check and they're
Right.
like, oh, well, okay. All right,
Yep.
I'll stay. I'll hang tight. These guys sound great, you
Yep.
know?
So we put in like two songs, I think, from the new record. Two or three songs from the new
Mm,
record have got into our set list, and
mm.
we have one that's almost ready to go, and then one that will like on the next tour we'll start working on in sound check. So it's
Nice.
like there's always like ideas there floating around. Cool, cool, cool. Got this. Our set list is huge, even though we don't have one. Now it's almost to the point where we're forgetting like, oh, we have this song. Oh, we have this song. Oh, let's play this song. but it's cool because it ebbs and flows. The dynamic of the show ebbs and flows with the dynamic of the crowd.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of why I love not playing a lot. I
Yeah.
like playing enough, but I don't want to play too much.
Yep.
But it does allow you to kind of play with a set list, and then it gets to the point where you're like, we haven't played that song in a few times.
Yeah.
So now when we go back there, we got a whole other set list.
Yep. And that's so cool to be able to change it from the last time we were there. Okay, cool. Like now we're headlining, we got more time to play more songs and kind of stretch out and be funny, and people get a chance to connect with us more than if we're doing a 45-minute opening spot where we got to hurry through everything.
And especially with a band like, with a band like yours, you're so connectable.
Yeah.
I mean,
and nothing's tracked, so that's a beauty. I really think that as like one of the advantages that we have is that nothing is tracked. There's no tracks running. Everything's live. So we're just like, it's right off the top of our heads. Like, what do we feel? What do we feel the crowd wants right now? Cool. Call it out. We'll do it.
Can I ask you my probably it's not a front man's favorite question, but so what's the top time, and what's the it was just that. I just missed a word. Have you lost a lyric?
Tons of times.
And what's your worst one? What you would think is your worst, but other people are like, whatever.
It happened to me on Saturday, where it was last Saturday. We were playing a hometown show, or our homecoming show.
Yeah.
We play like, I think, I can't even remember what song we played, but I'm looking out and I'm seeing people singing the lyrics back to me, right? I'm like, oh, cool, this is so awesome. And then I totally botched the verses, just botched the lines. And I could see people just looking at me like, I'm like, oh, just wait, it'll come around. So it's like, and that, which is a funny thing, and that lets you know that it's real and it happens and it's not faked and it's not flown in, and it's just that's just the realness of it. And so some of those newer songs, like the songs you haven't played 100 million times,
right?
Even the ones I do play 100 million times, yeah. I'll just have a mess.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's what the live thing's all about.
Yeah.
You know, there's two things that I always think of, and this is not about me. So I'll just share one, but the big thing that I did the one time was during Black Crowes, their big hit,
Jealous Again.
We do that one, but I didn't mess that one up.
You talk to Angels?
No, they're big, they're huge, hard to handle.
Oh yeah.
And I get to the second verse and I'm like, it's totally gone.
Yeah,
just didn't have it. I get done with it and I'm like, well, that's what happens when your brain goes to the bathroom without you.
It happens.
Just looks back and goes, you'll be fine.
It happens all the time.
No, but I just made a joke about it at the end. What can you do? It's done and over.
Yeah.
So,
and
I just kept playing.
I'm the master of Spinal Tap, calling out wrong cities and falling on stage, and just anything that can go, like breaking strings on stage, breaking tuning pegs. One night my whole bass stopped working right as we hit the first note of the song. And I was like, what do I do? And Sniper's like, just keep playing, bro.
Damn straight.
Like, okay,
figure it out.
We played 45 minutes. My bass didn't work one time. And nobody was like, everybody was like, great show. It was fantastic. I felt miserable, but nobody else knew except for me.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's like what I knew what happened. It like one of the solder joints inside of the bass broke, and so it was unrepairable. You know, there's like clock's ticking. Just keep rolling. Just go.
Just keep moving, folks.
Yep, that's
keep
exactly
it moving,
and it works.
Oh man. What are 3 songs? Let's just say 3 songs that you never get tired of hearing.
Of our songs or
any other songs? Like
any other songs.
Yeah, like Steel Panther. I can listen to Eyes of a Panther every day, multiple times in a day. I'll never get tired of that song.
I think it changes. Mine changes all the time.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I've wanted to make a playlist of all of mine, but
yeah, exactly. I try and do that on Spotify, especially like what time at the club, like making these cool Spotify playlists that I just absolutely adore. Some of they're like old classics. One of mine is "Faraway Eyes" by the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
I absolutely love that song. And when the Rolling Stones kind of go country blues, I think it's really, really cool.
I think it's
That
great.
That's one of them. This song, Tennessee Whiskey, weirdly enough, just heard it last night. I can't, and that might even go to my strip club days, where we play that song all the time, but it still hits every single time.
Yep.
And just that I just love that song. Another one is any Kiss songs. I like Love Gun. I still hear that song. Detroit Rock City. I still hear that song. I'm like, this is so cool.
I started my day with Love Gun today.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Like, okay. And when we played in the club, it sounds even better. Like real
and the
loud.
freaking solos at the end when they go to the last choruses as they're fading out, and he's like, and the when he's doing, oh man, just I'm like, God, I just love those solos in the end of that.
Yep.
So cool. So cool. Yeah, those are songs. Here's a good song for you. Check this out. It's called Thrill. Might be good for the club.
Okay.
And it's Band Made. I'll put it in here in the deal here. But yeah, Band Made is from Japan, and they have a song called Thrill. I never get tired of hearing it. And it's got a bass solo in the middle.
Oh, perfect.
It goes on my list of songs I'd never get tired of listening to. Never get tired. So let's get into this. Let's talk about how's the new album coming along.
The new album's been going great. We've released our first single was Get Laid. That came out July 5th.
Yeah.
With just a huge response and even better live response. That song, people were asking for it before it was even ready. And now when we play it live, it's just a showstopper for sure. And it's turned into this whole other thing where everybody's singing, "Gonna get laid tonight." Everybody, girls, boys, it doesn't matter. Everybody's
like Steel Panther shows.
Absolutely, it's fantastic. We have that song that just came out. Then we did a dance remix of it for the clubs. So it's a Get Laid all electronic dance remix, and that has a brand new video that came out right before the tour started.
Wow!
So it's kind of brand new. We're tying that into a 7-inch single, which is going to be a pink and green splattered Get Laid single vinyl with brand new artwork on front and back. That's beyond exciting. The next single that's going to be coming out is a song called Shock the World, which is we have a video for it. It's going to be fantastic. The whole thing, we've been playing it live, and people love the song. It's just we just went for like a 3-minute turn 'em and burn 'em type of song. And it turned out great. So that song's in the set. We got the title track, So Heart Hurts, is in the set, which is going really good. It just, everything is just right there. And so what we're working on now is this US tour and supporting this record with the US tour. And we did 2 weeks down in Florida, just got back home, and we got about a month and a half to go, and we'll go back out to Colorado, do Arizona, stuff like that. And then in June, we'll head out to the East Coast again. So it's just like, it just keeps going. And that's kind of what we anticipated to happen. Just keep plugging away and just keep playing shows, and we have fun at what we do. We love it. And that's exactly, the album is just, it extended the story, and it pushed the story, and it gave us the opportunity to just keep rolling with this story that we've created and these characters and the love of this music and the love of having a good time. Wow. It's perfect.
That's awesome. So what were some of your favorite, hold on a second. Let me get my thoughts straight here. I keep thinking of different little parts. Fatal Attraction came to your attention to be the opener for this East Coast tour. How?
We got hit up by their drummer, Liam. We'd known him from the East Coast, and he said, "Hey, if you guys ever need a band to open up on tour, hit us up." And we get that quite a bit. And I talked to Liam, and I thought, man, this guy might have it together. Like, he might have it together enough to pull this off. And so we kind of gave him the task of like, okay, we'll book you on the tour. It won't cost you anything. You guys bring the gear and meet us at this certain place. And they showed up in like a 95 Astro van with the trailer hitch on it, and no AC, no seats in the back. And I'm like, what have we done? Like, we might have made a mistake here, right? The first night, they weren't the greatest, and we're like, uh-oh. But they were like the nicest dudes ever.
Yeah.
Dumb but nice. And
Yeah.
so really what won me over was that they worked their asses off, and they didn't complain. They said, we'll be here at this time, we'll sleep in the van, we'll do whatever we got to do, we'll play as many shows as we can, and we're not going to bitch. And that's really like what the biggest thing. They
Yeah.
didn't ask for anything. They said, let's do this. And it kind of blew my mind and took me by surprise how well they adapted to it, and started to become a great band.
Outstanding, man. That's awesome. I'm proud of you guys for doing that.
They're
That's
like 10 years younger than us. So
yeah.
what it is it's exactly the same thing Chip did for us. He brought us out on the road. We're kind of doing the same thing for them, and really kind of giving them that push because
Yeah.
they deserve it. They work their asses off.
And that's what it takes, man. As long as you got the work,
Yep.
sometimes you, like you were saying, it may not be right on the mark all the time, but you're there, and
Yep.
you're there when you said you're going to be there, and you're doing the work. And that's what,
Yeah. And I can see good things going for those guys.
yeah.
I wish them all the best.
Yeah. And and that's what gets tough is when people think they know it all.
Yep.
And then they take a piss, and you're like,
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, we know what it's like to be a band. You pulled the Seinfeld thing. I don't think you do.
I don't think you do, but they got it, man. They were troopers and road warriors for their first tour ever.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. I want to say hello to Salvatore. Thanks for being in here. Good afternoon, man. And look at this. Logan Sear, been jamming the new album every day since it
Yes,
dropped.
Logan. Thank you so much, dude.
That's awesome. I got a son named Logan.
Wolverine.
Yeah, I know. It was part of it was Wolverine. The other part was Logan's Run. I'm like, it has. I couldn't not do it. My wife was like, well, maybe we do, because we were talking about doing Michael as his middle name, and we're like, and she's like, how about Michael Logan? I go, oh no. No. So gotta have that Logan. Logan's Run.
That's right.
Logan, Wolverine. Just makes sense. Then what was something that what was some of your favorite stops? You stopped in my friend's town where he lives out in South Carolina.
Oh, in Somerville?
Yeah. I was like, because I knew they lived near there.
That was like the first show of the tour.
Yeah. And I said, where do you live? He goes, Somerville. I go, well, they're playing in your town.
Yeah. It was cool.
We had
fun there. We had fun there. It was a beautiful little town. The night before we did Myrtle Beach and had a blast up there. That's like a third or fourth time in Myrtle Beach. And
that's where my sister-in-law lives.
So much fun there. Always a great time. Florida was absolutely beautiful. Wow. And kind of getting out of the crappy weather up in the States. So Florida was just killer. And the whole idea is to kind of do that Florida run every single year. And so it's a great place to be. Music is still thriving, and it just seems like such a cool little run that we're like, let's just keep doing this and see if we can make something where people are like, they look forward to the Florida run every year.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because people travel there. So whoever sees you there is going to take that home with them.
Yep.
And those who live there, like you said, look forward to it every time.
So that was great. New Orleans was incredible. We debuted in Nashville. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Just that, and like going to the places we've been, Hotspot. We went to Cafe Acoustic in St. Joe. It's like going home, and everybody just welcomes us with open arms and say, "Oh, it's been 2 years since we've seen you guys. We love you. Welcome home." I can't get enough of that. I think this is one of the coolest things ever.
Well, I know I'm not the first thing on your mind, but if you're gonna hit St. Louis, I'll keep better track of it.
No worries.
See, but give me a call, man, because you guys can always come over. We could do a meal. But I know Mike takes care of his people there, though.
He does great. He runs.
Mike is outstanding. Ron Keel's been there. Some of the guys from Cinderella have been through there, and
strong.
So yeah, I know that. I don't want to take anything away from Mike. Mike's got it. I'm trying to get a gig down there with my band. I've been talking. I just sent him a message today, as a matter of fact, and saw your picture with him. So. But yeah, super place though. Hotspot. If you guys haven't been there, head on down. It's down off of Highway 30 off of Gravois, and it's High Ridge, right?
Yep, High Ridge, Missouri.
High Ridge. Yeah, we played down the road at a place that doesn't exist anymore, and down in House Springs. That's where we played. But yeah, I've been dying to play the hot spot. So, so
Hey,
hopefully,
Stu, I gotta get ready for work, buddy.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
yeah. Well then, I'll let you get rolling. Let's have you back, and let's talk some other stuff. We should talk Kiss sometime. Is really
Let's
what
do
we need
it.
to do.
Whenever, you know.
So, all right. Well, enjoy your evening. All the best tonight.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
By the way, cool shirt.
I know, right? Did you
Looks
get?
good.
I'd love to get that Highway 69 one if you guys have some.
Let me check and see what we got on stock.
All right, cool. I saw that one today. That was great. I love that.
No problem.
That. All right, brother. Have a good one tonight. I'll stick with these
you.
guys for a bit, and we'll see you soon, brother.
Talking to you, dude.
Thanks, man. All right, folks. A great talk with Sam, man. Thank you, Sam. Always appreciate you being here. Appreciate the whole band, Jimmy, Sniper. Those guys are great. They have a lot of fun. Their music is a lot of fun. Check it out. They have their 3 albums. So get out there to their website. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and put this out there. And you can check out their store where you can buy their music, things that are coming up. Something I'm going to ask him about later, because I need a little bit of clarification on it, because I'd like to get it. They have a piece that they are, let me see here. Hold on a second. Let me grab just this and I'll get it to you. Let's do that and do that and do that. And then let's get back to you. And here we go. Check that out. There is their website. So be sure and check out the Midnight Devils. Just a lot of fun, and make sure you check them out live. Like I say, I'm so sorry that I missed them when they were just here, and I know where their place is, and just so much going on. I'm getting ready to end all that though. So things that are coming up, like I say, I got my friend Katie Cruz, who is one of St. Louis's most awesome on-air personalities on radio. She's been on the show before when I was doing it more through Go Game Go. And then also we're going to be adding some cooking onto the show. We're going to do some cooking with Claudia, but I also want to do cooking with some of my other guests as well. Like Katie's going to come in and we're going to do something pretty special. So I'm going to be getting my cameras and everything together, figure out how to do that the best way possible in our new kitchen. And I'm going to do a quick test after we're done here and see if I could have just gone upstairs real quick and done that with you guys soon. So I hope everything else is well. The things I'm looking forward to right now is Robin McCauley's got a brand new album out. He's got it, autographed copies of that are available. So check that out. Also, Russ Ballard, who's a gentleman who has had a great career as a writer and as a musician. He's been on tour recently. In fact, he was on tour over in the UK when Midnight Devils were over there not long ago. But he finally has this 2-album deal that's coming out. So hopefully I'll be having him on the show. I've talked to his folks about getting him in here, and would love to talk about that. And hey, Devo is on tour. They're going to be coming through St. Louis later on this year. And thinking about, I got to get in I got to get into that show. So I have to check on an interview with those guys. So, so yeah, those are the things that are coming up. I had some other headlines that hit pretty soon. I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to put this picture up because I really want to throw, I want to throw a little love my brother's way. And let me see here. So let me just put this picture up. Let's see which one I've got here. Yeah, here you go. Let's do this one. This is a lot of fun. So I'm going to be doing a show here pretty soon. This is my friend Guy Kingsbury. He was like a brother to me. I met him. We had a over 30-year friendship, and part of that, a good portion of that, was bandmates. So he passed away recently. So so that's been a thing. And I've been wanting to do a tribute show where I'll tell a few stories about him and some of my favorite moments and some of the favorite things. One of them dealt with when I went out to hang with Keel when they did their reunion show out in Hollywood years ago, and I had to give him a call. But I'll get some of those things together, and I already started putting a thumbnail together. I should even see if I might even have the thumbnail I can show you. I'm just going to do it as probably as a lightning news flash, so that way it's whenever it happens, it happens. No, I started on it. It's almost done. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, that's that. All right, guys. Take it easy. Hope everything is great for you. I hope you're staying warm if you're in these colder temperatures. I hope you're staying safe if you're in the snowy areas, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and into the weekend. And I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Now we're getting ready to come up on, and President's Day, and now we're coming up on St. Patty's Day next month. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I'll get you up in the kitchen though real soon, and we'll do that. It's been a lot of fun. Sam, again, to you, I say thank you, and to the Midnight Devils for all that you do and for the fun that you bring so many, 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 many people. And, you know, your audience is growing. And so just keep it up. Keep up the hard work. And for all of you guys out there, remember, when you step out your door every day, you're in everybody else's world. They're not in yours. So, you know, act accordingly and be cool. That means, you know, maybe don't listen to your phone without headphones in the store. Don't talk to your freaking family in the middle of a restaurant with their speaker. Don't do that. There's a passing lane and a driving lane. If you're not passing, stay out of that lane, because that's for emergency vehicles. And that's the end of my rant. You guys have a great one. Thanks for being here for Hammer Away.